All right, this is part 2 of the dirt screen. It's starting to look good, it's starting to take shape. I kind of got held back a little bit yesterday. I spent most of the day in bed. I was pretty sick. Not sure what it was. Might have been zinc poisoning again, but I don't think it was. But anyhow, back on Friday, I was doing some trucking, and I got there at 7, ended at 10, so it ended up being a short day. So I went to go break some concrete, and once I started, I realized my excavator was about out of diesel. So that only lasted for a little bit. So then I came home and started working on this, and then I had to go move some cows around. We've got some milk cows, and they just had some calves. And so they peed and pooped all over me, and so I had to go change clothes. And then, by then, it was already almost the end of the day. So I didn't get too much done. So these two pieces are the ones that I said, don't measure, don't cut them out yet, just leave them. Because if you cut them prior to building all this stuff, unless you're like perfect at cutting, perfect at welding, which there are people that are like that, but I'm not one of them. So, because in order for this piece to fit right, there's so much stuff that just has to be perfect. The length on this piece has to be perfect. The length on your vertical has to be perfect. Has to be a perfect 90. All this stuff. For me, it's a lot easier just to get your frame welded together and then just clamp this piece in place. You'll scribe it here, scribe it up there, cut it, and it will fit perfectly. And then you just weld it together, and it'll look like you know what you're doing. I'm not very good at making these YouTube videos, but they're fun. I've learned a little bit doing it. My brother-in-law talked me into it because I'm always working on something new or trying to start some new venture. Some of them work, some of them don't, but it's good times. So anyhow, the dirt screen that we're working on, this is where I'm going to talk a little bit about it. And this will be my third one. And they're nice to have. And the cool thing about them is if you're not using them, it's not going to kill you. It's not something that's going to break the bank. You don't have to pay insurance on it. There's hardly any maintenance on them. And at most, if you go out and buy one, they're like 10, 15 grand for a good one. But if you build your own, if you actually go out and buy the steel, it'll probably come out to about $4,000 or $5,000, depending on how you build it. So that's a decent chunk of change, but it's not like, let's say you go out and buy a backhoe, you don't have any work lined up for it, and you got a $150,000, $200,000 machine that you got to make payments on every month. That'll kill you. So these are why these things are awesome to have. But they're nice because when that one job does roll around to where you need one, there's so many things about them that are just awesome. One, they'll save your customer a lot of money, which will make them happy. And two, you'll be able to charge a little bit more, and I'll explain how. So let's say, and this number is not unrealistic. I did a lot of work up in Northern California. And to haul a mixed load in Northern California to a collection facility or disposal site or whatever you end up calling them, for a full load at 16 tons, it was roughly $1,100. Which I get the pricing behind it. They've got to separate it, screen it, process it, do whatever they do with it. And so I get the price behind it. But, if you got a screen and you can separate all your asphalt and concrete from it, that'll cut your price almost in half for the dump fee. Realistically, I've seen fees as low as $150 up to $500 to get rid of asphalt or concrete. It just kind of depends where you're at. But for number's sake, let's say $500. Obviously you got to factor in a little bit of time for your labor, for your equipment. So let's say you charge your customer $750 per load just for the dump fee. That's not including trucking. Because on top of that dump fee originally, like let's say it was $1,100 to dump that load, you're still going to charge, I don't know, probably 2 hours for a round trip. to wherever you go and come back. So they're looking at $1,300 just to get rid of that one load. So anyhow, let's say $750 plus 2 hours, you're looking at $950. You know, they're going to save $350 per load. And let's say you haul out 100 loads, I mean, you're going to save them almost $35,000. And so, is that right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, $35,000. So they end up saving a lot of money. You end up making a little bit more, and it's all because you have a $4,000 or $5,000 piece of metal that you put together. And that's really all there is to it. You know, you got to go out, you got to get your customers. And that's the hard part, is finding good customers. But they're out there. All right, well, thanks for watching, everybody. If you could hit that subscribe, like, share, thumbs down, whatever it is, I don't care. I just do these for the fun. But we're going to try and start making a lot of other videos that might be a little bit more appealing. So one of them is going to be with this old guy right here. We're going to probably strip him down to the frame. He's going to get a 454, probably with a 4-speed manual. That one's going to be fun. I got an old square body Chevy. It's like 5 trucks in one. We're going to start playing around with that a little bit again. It's got a 12-valve Cummins in it. It's a pretty powerful truck. I worked on that one for about 4 or 5 years, just here and there. Going to build a redneck water slide. That one's going to be good times. So there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming up. Anyhow, I'll see you next video.